The Johannesburg Emergency personnel will today be working on the last 4 remaining manholes. This is in their search for a Soweto boy, that's Khayalethu Magadla, who was 6 years when he fell into that manhole. And today we are told that it is day 12 of trying to search in an effort to locate his body. The efforts to try and find him have been unsuccessful in the last few days. Let's speak to Malungelo Booi now, who is live for us in the area of Klipspruit. Malu, good morning to you. So once again, you are back at that sewer split chamber, and that's where the emergency personnel are pinning their hopes that that's where young Khayalethu's body might possibly be. Tell us what's happening there today.
That's right, Scully. In fact, you are so right that this is day 12, and what we've been seeing over the past 11 days have been the efforts from emergency personnel in trying to find this little boy. Throughout this process, you know, the more they try to search for him, the more it's proving difficult to, in fact, locate him. And this morning, emergency personnel beginning their search in those 4 other manholes that they started working on yesterday. Now we are in the split chamber area. We're told, Koli, this area is actually an important one because Khayalethu Magadla, if he indeed fell onto that, inside that manhole, it's here where he would actually be located or be found. I want to bring in Robert Mulawuzi from the Johannesburg EMS. So today is the D-Day, Robert?
Yeah, this is the day, you know, where we'll be pulling all stops because this is the critical part of the whole pipeline. This is where everything which is fell into the this main holes is supposed to end here. This is the split chamber where we are now. So we already deployed a team, a rescue team, along the pipeline from where we left off last night. The team is moving towards the split chamber. We have activated also our croc rescue team, which is we're using an inflatable boat, which they are moving along because the water current flow on from that main hole towards the split chamber is much more higher, so we're using that boat. And then also on the other side, we're from the split chamber to the main plant itself, those 3 lines. We will be deploying our floating device, which has got an underwater and also on the surface camera, which gives us 360 view of the 3 pipelines. We're also aiding our colleagues from the South African Police Search and Rescue Unit. They will be bringing in dogs to search the whole parameters outside the split chamber and the main plant. And also we'll also be requesting our services from South African Police Air Wing, which will fly, you know, around this area just to make sure that we eliminate any doubt about whether we can be able to locate young Khayalethu in this area. So by the end of the day today, we will be sure as to we have covered everything. We have covered the whole ground in our quest to recover young Khayalethu.
So what happens after today if you don't locate him?
We still have a chance because our colleagues from Johannesburg Water can still be able to at least look at the main plant to see whether there will be something which can come through along those lines. So that maybe will take some few days, coming few days for them to look after that. So we're hopeful that with the operation today, we will be able to locate the young Khayalethu.
I do want us to go back to the last point that I asked. You mentioned that, Joburg water officials would then be watching or looking into the situation. But what happens to your guys? Will they continue to search, or you will take a lead from the guys from Joburg Water?
No, we'll take a lead from Joburg Water as and when they discover something on their line. That's what will happen. We are not going to stop the search. The search is going to continue because they will still the plant itself it operates 24 hours. So if as and when something comes up, they will be able to, activate us to be able to assist where we are supposed to assist.
All right, Robert Mulawuthi, we're expecting a chopper any minute?
Yes, it's any minute. You've seen the other team members, they're already here to assess the area. So they'll be flying around this area. We'll also be deploying some search and rescue dogs around the area just to make sure that we sweep the whole area while the other team are along the pipeline searching also. Just to make sure that we've covered all the ground, around this area here, the split chamber.
All right, Robert Mulawuthi, he speaks for the emergency services. Sir, thank you so much again for your time. Really appreciate it. All right, Koli, that's Robert Mulawuthi from the Johannesburg Emergency Services. He's saying that, any minute now we could also be seeing that police chopper that will be hovering around this particular area, really to assist to search for young Khayalethu Magadla. We're expecting also the police dogs to also search this particular area. Koli, they're moving underground in these 4 manholes. And what I've been seeing yesterday, in some of these manholes, these emergency officers and these divers, what they would do, Koli, as part of the sweep, they would literally be walk as I'm doing now. They'll be walking in searching for this young boy. And all the efforts so far really to find him have really not been successful. And Robert Mulawuthi is saying that this area where we are is actually quite a critical one for them in this search. The question is, Koli, will they be successful?
Yeah. Malungelo, Booi, thank you very much. We are holding thumbs and trying to really be hopeful, not for ourselves, but important for the family to absolutely find the closure that they so desperately need. Malungelo, Booi, thank you very much for that update.